shut that down. Sorry.
Okay.
I got a YouTube somehow.
Welcome to High Vibration. And this is going to be a very high vibration because we're going to tell the truth that sets you free. And why not? Because you are the truth that sets you free. Now, we've been living in this human dimension, which is pure illusion of the mind. And it's a very great trickery, but it's not reality. Reality is permanent, forever and ever. And that's who we are, playing a game, an illusion of temporary existence. So the more you understand that, the more you can surrender what seems to be and not get and love everything, allow everything, trust everything, embrace everything, and transcend everything, because it's all passing, and we should behave like who we are, which is the divine source of all things. And the divine source of all things does not evaluate, does not judge. It simply loves and let be and allows all things. So we're gathered here in a very powerful energy because we all understand this. If I said this to some people, they think I was a lunatic, which, of course, I am. But tonight we have Jeffrey Oswald on, and I've been reading his stuff for a long time. He really got some incredible inspiration to write some beautiful stuff that has touched the lives of many, 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 many people. So I'm really honored to have him here. I'm going to pass the baton over to him and let him share anything that wants to come out of the mouth of the body mind from the source of all things. And then if there's any comments or questions, we'll be able to open up. So, Jeffrey, what kind of sharing would you like to do?
Thanks for that amazing introduction. Wow. Well, what would you like to know? Yes, we have two callers here that are listening. Is there any questions you guys have that are pertinent or something really pressing, something real, something that can help you in your life in some way?
I have a preference for introversion, so I need to think about that for a while.
I mean, I can talk for like 3 hours nonstop about everything, but I think I'd like to talk about something that you're personally interested in, that's like real for you, like today.
Yes. Well, I'll speak up then. Assistance with liberation from the grand illusion would be wonderful. You see me in my little outfit here, and this is what I do, and it's a wonderful thing, to make sure everybody goes home to their family safe and healthy every day. It matters. Though my real heart's desire is to reforest the planet. And my challenge is that I need to do this for the 9-to-5 aspect to make that money. And I have the sense that when I can attain financial freedom, then I can have that time freedom to be able to do what truly resonates with my heart. So, Jeffrey, how can you assist me with basically with that? Freeing myself from where I essentially find myself, and that resistance I put up there, because I really am a freedom-seeking being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you hit that in the head with getting free from the grand illusion. So it's a real simple, less complicated problems that we have the most simple answers. And they're almost so simple that we miss them. They're closer to us than our heartbeat or in our next breath of air. And if you can imagine how close you are to your own breath, like that's pretty close. right? You can't get closer to the breath. And that's where the answers are. They're actually so close to us that we miss this amazing connection that is already here. So the connection I'm talking about is your own awareness, your own consciousness, your own light that is projecting all of these movies to the screen of your mind. Okay? And so this is telling you something like, I'm not financially free. And it's going to show that in the outer world. Right? It's going to manifest itself, because whatever we project on the inner world is what the universe hears as a blueprint to show it physically. Because thoughts are things. Where thought goes, energy flows. And wherever you focus your divine God consciousness, the God source, okay, this is what we're going to manifest. So as long as you're projecting the ideas, I'm not financially free, I'm stuck, then that's what's going to manifest. Okay? So it's all about projecting the ideas of, and the feelings that go with those ideas of, I am financially free. It feels great. I'm doing amazing at, whatever job I love doing, and it's plenty of money. And whatever goes along with that, whatever feeling, story, joy, it has to be a real sensation in the body for you to believe it's real, to believe it's true. And then you just start devoting your life to that feeling, that image in your mind, and projecting it on your inner movie. And when you get it down, it takes about 21 days for you to reverse an old habit and to get out of a rut, to be pretty deep. And after 21 days, you get into a new habit, which says, hey, this is actually coming true, because the universe, depends on your frequency, depends on your resistance to change, your blocks. There's a lot of things that depend on how long amount of time. That's what people are a little stuck on. Is, well, how long is it going to take for me to become financially free? Is it 12 years, 12 days, 12 months, 12 minutes? Okay, so it's really the time thing is an issue for people, obviously, because we think we only have a limited amount of time on the planet, right? And we forget we're eternal beings, that spiritual nature and our souls never die. I live all the time. We totally have deep spiritual amnesia. We weren't taught in schools that that after this lifetime there's another one and another one and another one, and that we live on forever. And so if we really knew that, if we really believed that, then we wouldn't be attached to the time element, what stresses us out. All suffering, all stress comes from this relationship with time. And how long is it going to take for me to be financially free? So I told you you're going to be free in the next 10 minutes. Okay? You would change your whole vibration right now, right? But if I said the next 10 years, it's a little bit different. Your vibration gets a little bit more painful. Okay? So it's all our relationship with and what we believe, how much time it's going to take for us to be free. So that's the first step is as I mentioned, is projecting the new movie onto your inner screen. Okay? And doing that for 21 days. And working through the resistance to believing in that. It's about unlearning. It's about learning something that doesn't feel real, fake it till you make it kind of thing, and feel what you want to feel, don't want to feel, and opening up to that way, that it brings you, and saying yes to that, and taking action from that, and taking inspired and actions every day from that place, and that things start to manifest from that place as well. So, but this is just the world of manifesting. This is not the world of absolute, complete, total freedom from from worry. Because as soon as we manifest one thing, we're like, oh wow, this is cool, it worked. Now I'm going to change my movie and I'm going to create something else, and I'm going to my relationships or my health or my house or my car, or there's a million things that we can do in this manifesting adventure, and it's beautiful. It's a part of the fun and the joy of being human and having a body is manifest anything that we focus on, anything we imagine. Okay, so but it doesn't give us freedom because we're still caught in this. I don't know what you would call it, maybe just an addiction to having what we want. And so that doesn't really give us much freedom, because typically what happens is we always get what we want and what we don't want. When we get the financial, then we want more money, or maybe, finance there, and then we want something else. We want freedom in our, with our body or our relationship, our sex life. There's always something else that the ego is never, ever satisfied. So that's what we have to really deal with, is our ego, which is it's a demandaholic, complainaholic. It always wants more. It always wants. It's just a wanting, which doesn't know anything but wanting. And that's how we know that we're in ego, is that we're addicted to the wanting. So there's only really one. There's probably a million different ways to get out of ego, but there's only really one way that I've found that is consistent, that works every time, and that's putting your attention back on where the light is creating the movie mind, where that light is coming from. So the consciousness that is creating this movie in your mind, where that light of awareness, the source of that awareness coming from. Okay, and if you can keep your attention there all day long, or at least have one foot in and one foot out, okay, you can live in this world and not of this world. You can play the role of, amazing safety man and do all the things. You still have one foot focused back on the light, which is projecting all of these images, movies, thoughts, being the whole gambit of awareness, and putting your attention back on the awareness. Then you will find freedom. There's freedom from the ego is basically what we're looking for. Freedom from desiring, freedom from yearning, freedom from not having, freedom from always wanting, and it's never satisfied, ever. But that's the nature of the ego. We need an experience of never being satisfied, or something that will never ever be satisfied, so that we can have the opposite exploration of something that is always satisfied. And so that's what this is all about. This is finding the truth of who we are, is always satisfied with what is. It's fully satisfied with whatever financial state we're in. And it's totally at peace with whatever situation our health is, our relationships, whatever suffering we're having, whatever yearning we're having. It's totally okay with all of that. It doesn't want to change a thing. It sees the perfection, that absolute divine perfection in play in it all, because it realizes a bigger picture. It realizes all of this is necessary for our whole experience of being divine, that we're both. And you can't be human without being divine. You have to have, motor in the car for it to run. And, it's about honoring the truth, the bigger truth. That we have to have a soul to have an ego, and we have to have both. What I've been playing around the last 5 years with is this exploration of what happens when we drop into the middle path, which is the exploration of what's between the ego mind and this pure awareness, this light of awareness, and what's between those two worlds. And what happens when we ride that edge, that fine, thin razor's edge between these thoughts that we're having and the awareness of the thoughts. And what happens when we don't play, we don't get attached to awareness, we don't get too much attached to thoughts. What happens when we actually are living in between, in that space that is between them both? It's kind of hard to describe. There's not really a word that I found necessarily that pinpoints it. But if you can find that word, I would love to call Wikipedia and add that dictionary.
Writing the high middle.
Yeah.
Equilibrium.
The more we can point at it and the more we can talk about it, the more real it gets. That's the cool thing. Is we're inventing something that's already there, but it doesn't have a word yet, at least that I know of, or maybe it's in Sanskrit or something 5,000 years ago.
It's a different way of being. For me, it's a different way of being in the world, and so I'm letting go of everything that I've known, and learning to pay attention to how I'm being, so that I let go of the resistance. It's the fear, it's the dark, it's the and staying in the learning where every level is different. Surrender to here's the peace, here's the love. Let go of any resistance, any fear. And so all the things that come at me, somebody that I used to react to, I bless them, I thank them, I see them as a gift in my life to help me find another level of surrender and being in peace and love and gratefulness. And so it is like riding the edge of the rail over.
Yeah, beautiful. Well done. Yeah.
But I'm just a rookie and trying to learn. It sounds like you've been doing this successfully for a long time.
Well, there's always another level. There's after the highest PhD you could ever get in Einstein's school of life. There's always another school above that one. So there's no end. And I'm a complete rookie at this next school. So it's not. I'm actually completely rebooted and started over again. And I have nothing in this whole other school. I'm just first. So yeah, it's very humbling.
We're always perfect, just the way we are, and it's all a matter of loving yourself exactly as you are.
Oh yeah.
Just spending the day loving everything. It just isn't that because that's who we are, and we're unlimited love. So as we go along with that, between the appearance and the reality learns to love, and it keeps on moving closer to. The illusion is loving, and therefore keeps on moving closer and closer and closer to the reality that is endlessly love. You'll never, ever complete how much we can sink into that reality that we are.
Beautiful. That's huge. That is very beautiful, you said, yeah. Yeah.
So what's
Yeah,
your take?
thank you.
Stephen, you asked the question, and since the question, where are you now?
I'm here, Michael. Michael L. Nandito ako. You know, all is well. All is well in the downstream flow. Just, it's the resistance thing, you know. I have the sense there's a block, and I don't know exactly what it is. But, and I'm really excited about liberating myself from this thing, whatever it is, a conditioned belief or something I brought in. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Maybe growing up in my military family, I think it goes to lack of self-love, lack of self-esteem, quite frankly. I feel certain that's what it is. And my encounters on a day-to-day basis seem to reinforce that, you know. And I really am excited about liberating myself, emancipating myself, as it were. You know, and so I need a process. So, for example, Joffrey, 21 days. Do you have any recommendations in terms of a process or something that I could be engaging for those 21 days to, that would facilitate me reconditioning the subconscious mind, as it were?
Yeah, I mean,
Vaporizing
any sort of, hypno sessions that deal in going into the actual emotional aspect of the tension that you're feeling in the body. If you're dealing with a major block that feels too big for you to sit with, too big for you to breathe into and to process out all the deep, dark emotions that are stuck in there, then you might call on a facilitator, a hypnotherapist, or someone into a deep trance. Go deep inside yourself, inside your body, and journey into that place where you're holding on to the fear, to the resistance, to the doubts, and to what it's like to liberate yourself from that place. So
I can do that. I can do that with you, Stephen. I mean, you can do it yourself, but I can help you facilitate. And it's basically what Joffrey's saying. It's basically letting the darkness come up and getting excited about it, actually loving it, because it's your liberation. That's what you need to assimilate and love and accept and allow. And then again, it's just feelings. You know, and they may be filled with fear, which is false evidence appearing real, but nevertheless, it's just a feeling. And if you know that you're embraced by goodness and everything, then you can just continue to love that feeling until it gets transformed. But I can help you take you down into the subconscious through some breath work and stuff, and bring up some early experiences when that was transpiring, and work with that part of you to free it up. So we can do that if you like.
yeah, the breath work is huge. I highly, highly recommend doing breathwork sessions up an hour or more, long, deep breathing and breathing into the pain and welcoming the pain, because that's the one thing that we haven't done yet. We've become masters at taking away the pain and blocking it out and avoiding it through so many different strategies.
Yes.
And we're masters at, avoidance. And everyone knows their own inner than anybody. And what I find though is it's embarrassing when we actually get liberated, from something we've been battling for so long. Once we see how simple it is, and how beautiful it is, and what an amazing healing process it is, and how good it is to feel this liberation, and it's just like 1,000,000 pounds being lifted off your shoulders. It's like, why didn't we do this earlier? We avoid this process. Why did we battle and hit our head against the wall for so many years, And it's all part, I think it's all part of our karmic, exploration, that there's, lifetimes and lifetimes of this happening at the same time, and it's not our fault. Basically, is the message. It's the fault.
We did that because we didn't know it was liberational to feel it. We didn't like the uncomfortableness of the feeling, so we pushed it into the subconscious to get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't feel it because we forgot it, but it's still there percolating, affecting our lives and still coming up. But now, when we get to the stage of knowing that embracing and accepting what is most challenging is the means of transcending it, then it becomes a different story. Then it becomes valuable and not to be pushed away, but to be embraced.
Well, this is why we're here. This is why our soul, with its karmic baggage, and baggage is a bad word. It's more like our karmic gold. That's why we showed up in the human form, is to get to process through this gold, to feel it, to experience the from moving from dark to light. And there's so many souls that are wishing they had a human body to do this with, that they can have feelings and thoughts and, emotions and sexual energy and all of this stuff that you don't get if you don't have a human body. So we're very, very, very blessed to have this human body for this short amount of time to play with this kindness and just know that it's old. I mean, if you can't deal process it out in the next 2 minutes, then it's ancient, and it's like digging under the pyramid of Giza, with a plastic spoon, expecting you're going to get somewhere. That's why we need help. We have 7 billion other people on the planet to help us. There's in the unseen world, I've found so many times, like, if you just sincerely ask for help from higher guidance, from angels, from even, dead ancestors that loved you, and anyone who's in the, the unseen world, you can just ask them, please help me with this. And just let it go. Say they hear you. Let it go. And give it 24 hours and see what happens. See how your emotional state changes. See how your response and your reaction to it and your relationship with it change. And it's neat to know, like, that the movie that is creating all your suffering, like, that you keep going down that dark alley and you keep falling in that same old hole, again and again and again. It's like, okay, when are we going to choose a new path, a new alley that doesn't have a hole in it? It's got a bridge. When are we going to choose that movie to watch? And they're just movies. They're just, they're very, very real movies, though. And that's the important thing is, again, coming back to the light of the projector in the back of the movie that's creating all of this. And that's the place that we'll ever find freedom, is when we return to the source of who we are. This freedom, this light, this consciousness, so light, it's not attached to anything. It's such a great metaphor, because if you look at, an actual light bulb, it's just radiating pure white light. There's no images, if your mind throws an image of it and makes up all sorts of stories, but the screen is also untouched. The screen is always blank. And so the universe is this magical screen as well, and it's not stuck. It's constantly changing in each moment. So as soon as you start changing the movies in your mind, then this blank screen will start to reciprocate, and it works really fast. It's quite amazing how fast things can shift.
And I think the more we make that shift, and that's who I really am. I am the light. I am the awareness. That's who I am, and I love that. Will make it easier for us to surrender and easier to embrace all the different aspects.
Yeah, and it's, because there's no one set formula that's going to work 100% of the time forever. And yes, you are the body. I am the body, and I am the light, and I'm everything between. I am these thoughts, and I'm not these thoughts. It's we are everything, and we are nothing. So you have to be really aware that the universe is infinite in all directions and dimensions. Something that it doesn't include. And so when we say I am, immediately after that comes nothing. And we have to be aware that that's the highest truth. Everything and nothing, everything in between those worlds. So it's like that we don't get stuck. We don't get stuck in this idea that we are just the light. Because I've met people who are, yes, I'm the light, and I am, and they're so under that they don't even feel any pain at all that they're having. They don't feel the divorce they're going through, or that somebody's, their best friend hates them. And I'm like, well, how could someone hate you so much? You're so self-realized, and you're just the light, and it's just that they have no integrity. And, when you ask me the question, Michael, I'm like, what's the highest vibration that I can, think of? The first thing that came to mind was like real integrity, like absolute integrity with yourself, deepest levels, meaning that you are so honest with that you fall into a state of deep inner peace, because the honesty is so real and true to you that there's no more conflict within yourself about who you are or what you want or where you're at in your life. And you just come to peace with who you are, because integrity with yourself, with your heart. Integrity means you love yourself. And to me, this is the highest vibration there is, because I've been people who, they're so disconnected from pain, and they don't feel the pain that is the gold. It's the lotus blossoms out of the manure, and it's the pain that makes us human. It's the pain that makes us grow, and it's the pain that actually brings us healing. And we're all here to heal. Every human being has come here to heal something. There's no human being that's completely healed from whatever. And it's we're all in this together, and we're here to help each other to heal. And yeah, it's a beautiful setup on this planet Earth.
I put it out. Stephen and Marcy and I have been meeting periodically. If ever you or any group of people would like to have a listening audience, feel free to. I'm certainly available, and I'm sure if it works out in time for each of those souls, they would be too. So just want to put that out, that we are a community, and the greatest thing possible is sacred service. So we're definitely open to that, and we're definitely doing that, because we put out a vibration now into the universe, which I don't know who will hear this and who won't hear this, but the vibration already is making a difference, because it's very high principled. It's very full of love and wisdom. So, and also, let me be sensitive to everybody's needs. I don't want to go on too long beyond people's time limits and what they have to do. So let me just ask if there's any final comments or final questions, and see if it's time to conclude with what we've been sharing. So is there anything that wants to be said?
Well, Jeffrey, I'd like to just thank you for sharing the wisdom. I was
Say
going
it
to say,
again.
just thank you for sharing that wisdom with me. I truly appreciate your guidance and the blessings and everybody being here. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
I didn't hear yours,
Aw.
Marcy.
You're welcome.
Marcy, I didn't hear yours.
I really respect everything that Jeffrey is saying. I have been studying this from different languages, from different bodies of information for the last number of years. And I really am working on this total surrender and holding on to the belief that fear about money, that money's all made up, and that why do we worry? What's the fear about money? Fear is the, false evidence appearing real. And if we can actually learn to stay in the being of peace and love and focus on our being and do good in the world and only focus on that, only focus on letting go of the resistance and being we're all connected, we're all energy. And so we're the leaders, and we're helping the planet, we're helping the world rise to a higher level of enlightenment. And it's not about doing, it really is about being, and being better people. Everybody is being. We're helping everybody move in that direction. And the hardest thing to let go of is the fear and the dark energy. And when we actually make the conscious choice to let go of that fear and trust that God, that the universe, that nature, that the soul, that we are all one, and that we will be fine, that's the ultimate goal.
Well, I think we got it. we have enough understanding to continue on better and better, and we have the ultimate destiny of perfection, which we are taking care of us, and to know that, and to love that, and to allow that. I mean, and we're all going to be ascended, and we're already ascended and free, and we're also going to know and actually experience ascension and freedom, and that's a glorious destiny, no matter where we are or what's going on. So I want to thank everybody for showing up here with your love and your wisdom and your grace, and thank you. So again, before
Michael.
I close, any last words, Jeffrey?
Oh, it's just beautiful. Just take all this in and just let ourselves just rest. Just rest in our hearts, in our gut, in all the emotions and whatever. Just rest with it all and just be with it all. It's all, as you said, divine and absolutely perfect. And on some level, there's nothing that needs to be changed. There's nothing that needs to be fixed, that we're not broken, and just to rest in ourselves and to enjoy a sense of peace.
So, blessings. Thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Good, Paul. Thanks for coming and playing.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to click us off. We're disappearing on the outer, but we're all connected on the inner. And much love and much grace. Bye-bye.